Hi everyone, so it's Ingrid Thompson here, and I'm asking, so different people ask questions, and I have conversations with people all the time about the questions that they're asking. And I had this really interesting question recently from someone. They sent me a message and they said, I don't know what to do, and so we jumped on a quick call. We had a bit of an exchange, and then it was just quicker and easier to do it on a call. But I actually thought it'd be worth putting together the information and putting it here in a live, so that we can put it in the units and we can keep it together with everything all together. So the question was from one of the Profit Lab members, and she said, I've been working with this particular client for a while and I just don't want to work with them anymore. And so it was that she'd been working for more than a year and she just didn't want to continue. So the sort of work that she does is she writes newsletters for them, for her clients. She does some Facebook work for them. She has an amazing track record in doing Facebook work. And this particular client had been working with it was a practice, and it was a family-based practice, and then had moved into the more cosmetic style, had moved into the more beauty, and so therefore they wanted to attract a new group of clients. They wanted to provide a different level of information, and so this Profit Lab member said, this isn't really the sort of client that I want to work with because of the clients they're working with. So if you're kind of following that. And also this person then, because of the new style of clients they wanted to attract, they also wanted to move to Instagram. And this was an area that while this Profit Lab member was using Instagram for herself, it wasn't something she knew about to be able to grow that audience on Instagram. So she said to me, I really don't think that I want to do this anymore. So what do I do? How do I get rid of them? Is that something that you can do? And so, after you've been working with somebody for a year or two, there's this sort of relationship between the two. So I said, well, maybe have a conversation with them or somebody else in the business. And she said, oh, well, what happened as well is that I've sent some emails backwards and forwards, but I haven't heard any reply. I haven't had any feedback. I don't know if I'm on track. I've tried to put something together for Instagram, but I don't know if it's not working. Now, here's one of the things that happens when we never hear back from someone. We feel, oh my gosh, it's me. So she immediately thought that the information she had provided about Instagram, that she had suggested for these new clients, was not the right information. So she took it very personally. So we do that, don't we? When someone doesn't return our calls, when our emails go unanswered, we take that personally. And even as I was putting these notes together, I've got my trusty notebook here, even as I was putting my notes together, there were 3 people whose phone calls I needed to reply to and a message that I knew was outstanding. So I bet this is triggered for you, some people you owe calls to. So, we need to remember that when we're taking something personally. Anyway, so back to this particular situation. So the thing is, it could be a difficult conversation to have. So I had suggested to her that perhaps it would be a good idea for her to have a conversation with this client. Send a text, send a DM, on Instagram if that's how to get their attention. If these people, where are these people that you can actually grab their attention, or just give them a call and say, can we set aside 10 minutes to do that? So the questions that you might want to ask yourself about whether you actually want to keep a client or not. And in this instance, it became really clear that this was a client that no longer was the type of client that this Profit Lab member wanted to have as a client for her and her business. And this will depend on where you are in your business. Like, where are you up to in your business? What stage is your business at? Are you in the initial stage? And I know that in the initial stage, lots of people just want to grab whatever clients they can. And the tricky part with that is that, how do you then get rid of them if they end up not being ideal clients? And so, but this person has decided that the sort of people that she loves working with are family-based practices who are attracting a family audience of patients. And so for this particular person who is now attracting people who are looking for cosmetic approach, who are looking for surgical approach, it's an age group that's different, everything about the messaging is quite different. So they are looking at asking her to do a different thing, and she's being able to say, well, at my stage in my business, these are the people I know I can get fantastic results for, and so therefore I need to be really careful about making sure they're the clients I work with, because if I'm going to work with this other person, I may not get the results. And so they will say, well, I've worked with this person and she doesn't get the results that she says she does. So this was a pretty tough decision for her. But if you're in this situation, and I know because over the time that I've worked with people, this happens, and it's happened to me. You know, you get to someone and you can't help them any longer. They're at a stage where they just can't be helped by you. And certainly with my coaching, there's certain things I can help people with, and then there's things that I will happily find them another person to help them with. So the sorts of questions you might want to ask is, who are the clients that you really like working with? Who are the clients that light you up? You look at your sheet for the day, or you see their name pop up on the phone when it rings, and you can't wait to answer it. You can't wait to get stuck into the work that you do for them. So who are the ones that you really enjoy working with? And then, do they pay you promptly? Do they make it easy to work with them? Do they appreciate what you do? Do they do their work in between, or are you doing all the work in between? And so this person really knew that she loved working with the practices, as I said, that were more family-based. And so what we came to the conclusion was that this was no longer the ideal client for her, that she was going to have the conversation. So we constructed an email, because that was going to be the easiest way to do it. And she had some scripting ready that she was going to explain exactly as she'd explained to me. And she was going to say, look, I can help you find somebody else. We can work together for another month or two, or I can help you out with the newsletters and you can find somebody else to do this. So she came up with a couple of different scenarios about how she could support him. And so, you know, if ever you're in a situation where you're just not wanting to work with that client anymore for whatever reason, and there could be a whole host of reasons, then it could be a good idea to have the conversation. You've figured it out why, then, you know, map out what you're going to say, think about the alternatives. How could you find someone else to help them? Because that's the nicest way to pass somebody on. You know, you've reached your limit of what you can do, and then pass them on to somebody else. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, send them to me. If you have any suggestions for what this person could do, feel free to put them in the comments. I know a couple of people have been listening in already with this. So if you had any ideas about what you would do, or have you ever had clients that you've handed over to somebody else, or that you've had to let go, how have you done that in an elegant, respectful way, so that those people feel that you've done the best you can and that you're providing that service. So yeah, Ingrid Thompson, Healthy Numbers Profit Lab. I'll be back next Monday with a 12 noon live. We're talking about a couple of different things relating to money, because we're going to have a money focus for the next couple of weeks. And so clients are an essential part of that. So have a lovely weekend. It's Friday here. It's looking a little cloudy. It's not quite as sunny as it has been. So this is, if you have any suggestions about how you would pass over new clients to somebody else, if you've ever done that yourself, please jump into the chat and let us know. But I think an honest conversation is often the very best way. And just as a result of that particular conversation, she had the conversation with the client through an email, and he came back and said, well, actually, he himself was doing a course on Instagram. So the business owner is doing the Instagram course so that he can understand how Instagram works. So, you know, personally, I'm not sure that's the best solution for them, but that's what they've done. So she's relieved that he's quite happy to have another solution. She's off the hook, if you like, and focusing on the clients that she's got. So over and out. Thank you.